What's cracking, trainers? XehrFelrose here, bringing you some Pokemon GO Battle League content. And in today's video, we got a legend run submission from Purple Kyogre PvP. You may have heard of him. He's one of our OG content creators over on Twitch and here on YouTube. And Trainer doubted himself this season. Trainers, my friends, he was down in the dumps, and I know the feeling. And so not only am I glad here to announce that he's hit legend and share the team with you, but also share in the run that he had, because as someone who knows that doubt all too well, I feel like I am perfectly attuned to this experience, and so we're gonna make the best of it. And I mean, hitting legend's already pretty awesome. Also, I heard there's a surprise at the end. There's more games than just a legend run here, but stick around. He wants to share something special with y'all. The Zygarde in the back, though. Trainers, bear with me now. Come on, stay with me. We're here to celebrate this legend run. Zygarde in the back. I know your eyes are rolling into the back of your head, especially when you see the belly bolt in the back. Oh yes, I know, two of the most hated Ultra League Pokemon in existence. But you know what? Doesn't matter what you use to get there. Sometimes it's just the thrill of being able to finally make it over the line, even if you have to turn to some of the format's dominant picks to be able to do so. Not all of us can run Spice, man. All right, I'm with him, man. If you got to use the Zygarde and the Belly Bolt to get there, then by goodness, go get it. Now let's get into the first game here, because PvP is a really skilled player, and I want to see him pilot this team, because this team looks like it could be a really good climbing team, to be honest. And in the first game, we get a Gastrodon lead, and this is not that great, but we have a Trailblaze to end this Gastrodon's entire career. First charge move of the game is a Night Slash bait, and it gets the shield and a boost. The Scizor looking to make an early run away with this game, and it's going to put up a shield, because that Body Slam, even if it does hit, dude, that would still be quite painful. The opponent, however, is going to throw their second Body Slam right away, and PK has already decided that we're going all the way in this matchup. We're putting down two shields to make sure the opponent does not get anywhere near their Belly Bolt with this Gastrodon. And now the opponent, however, not going to get to a charge move. Scizor gets the farm down and a Trailblaze for the road against the opponent, who has a Feraligatr come in now, and Gator is getting clocked, bro. And it's a Typhlosion into the back. Oh no, Trainer! This is a problem for the opponent. Zygarde is absolutely... No, there's no Solar Beams on this Typhlosion. The opponent sees how much damage that does, and they have Thunder Punch, by the way. Everything on this Typhlosion is resisted. They are absolutely just devastated at the existence of this Zygarde right now, which is walling all of this energy and going to be able to get to an Outrage before the opponent can even get to another charge move. And there it goes. Oh no, the opponent no shielding that Feraligatr. Probably wouldn't have made him a world of difference because that Belly Bolt's thick, but that's going to be a good way to win first game. Well played. Scizor on the lead in the next game against Pangoro. Awkward. This is a really weird one because bullet punches are the only way that Scizor is going to get any meaningful damage off. However, the Pangoro could just throw a close combat and just end this Scizor's entire day, man. So now Scizor going to be shielding up the close combat. Thankfully, if it was me, it would have been Night Slashes all day. They never throw the move against me now. Oh, with the 1 HP survive! No, the Pangoro hanging on by a thread to deliver this Night Slash, but goes down anyway. Typhlosion comes in to get an Incinerate down, and Scizor is going to go for this Night Slash for some chip damage. The opponent does not shield it, and now in comes the Zygarde, which is once again finding its way here, and here comes Cresselia to have to take this crunch. This is super effective, but it's from a Zygarde. It's going to hit about like a wet noodle. Exactly like I thought, but Belly Bolt now gets to come in, and this is dangerous because it doesn't matter what gets thrown here. It's not going to do much because it's just Belly Bolt. It's Cress not going to do it. It did about as much to the Belly Bolt as that crunch did to the Cresselia, to be honest. But that's not the dangerous thing here in this matchup. The Belly Bolt has plenty of time to start ramping up its defense, and at that point, I mean, you have to have several moves ready to go to deal with this Belly Bolt because its defense is getting sky high. In comes Typhlosion, but Belly Bolt completely removes itself from the field, and the debuffs, and the buffs, not the debuffs, not debuffs. Blast Burn is going to do a little bit of damage to the Zygarde. Man, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, dude. Like, this is the kind of stuff that I want to see when I'm climbing a legend, right? Like, you get Zygarde on your team. Like, let me see that Typhlosion. Every single Zygarde, every single time that I would run Zygarde, it would be on Togekiss, Florges, Lugia. Like, what else can you give me that's like a hard answer to a? Oh goodness. Anyway, Zygarde's gonna go down here, but Belly Bolt coming back in with a vengeance. The opponent does not have 2 charge moves and is ready to Zap Cannon him. Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. Give me the Zap Cannon. I know the Parabolic is the safe way to do it and the right way to do it. But man, I'm a junkie, bro. Moonblast almost does it, but Bellybolt hangs on, able to get to a last-second Parabolic charge. And a Zap Cannon would have been enough too, Trainer, but we still take a win there. Good game. We wanted that one. Oh, yes. That Cresselia made it a lot closer than it had any right to. Regidrago in the next game, and as a person who has run often Regidrago in the Ultra League, usually they're weak to Scizor in the back for some reason. I don't know exactly what they'll have back there, but it's usually some kind of like water type or something that doesn't appreciate the existence of a Scizor, or Fairy even. But the opponent is going to stay in. There's the Feraligatr. Feraligator's going to come in and try to go for this Hydro Cannon, but the opponent overfarms by a bit too much before the Scizor throws, and now they're threatening a Trailblaze. Night Slash gonna get the shield, and in comes the Belly Bolt. Belly of the Bolt is gonna have to climb back, though, being behind by like 2 Hydro Cannons already. Gonna just be here to absorb energy. The opponent does get 2 moves off. This is really unfortunate for PK's Belly Bolt. It's just gonna get let go here. Gonna try to give as little farm to the opponent as possible and go for the parabolic charge here to be able to get the knockout. And in comes Gastrodon, and boy, are we glad to see this, because Zygarde is going to be much happier against this than the Scizor would be, and Scizor now comes in to absorb energy and or shield and farm down. We're going for a shield and farm down play. Dragon Energy, getting shielded. Can the opponent get to another? Absolutely not. Scizor shuts them down and goes for the Trailblaze here as the Gastrodon comes back in to claim its prize. The Scizor getting pretty low. The opponent does shield up. They're not getting to a Night Slash, though, are they? Oh, no, not quite. Zygarde, you got some work to do, buddy. Get in there and go for the outrage. Do enough. You need like 2 moves no matter what here, but we'll see how much damage the opponent got here with all these mud slaps and all this energy they got from that farm down. Zygarde here looking to let loose the first outrage of this matchup, and that will be enough to bring it down into potential crunch range, but PK's not going to take that choice. Not making that choice, not taking that chance. Outrage is going to get the knockout on the Gastrodon, and that's going to be a good game. Well played. Scizor on the lead in the next game versus Impoleon. Oh no, this is not a good lead for us because the opponent is actually double resisting these bullet punches. So an immediate swap in to the Zygarde. The opponent staying in to throw some energy. They may not have a hard answer to Zygarde. Oftentimes Impoleon might have Florges in the back and a... That's not what I was expecting. That's a Florges and a Dragon is what I've seen commonly cord with them. But in comes Virizion. The opponent, however, probably thinking that this Zygarde is on Earthquake Crunch. They're about to find out that they came in on the wrong Zygardes. Now the outrage is starting to make them sweat. The opponent doesn't have any hard-hitting charge moves here that have enough damage to take out. Leaf Blade is going to get taken here by the Zygarde, looking to go for another, but the opponent somehow gets a move. Huh? That was interesting. No CMP tie, no nothing, but now Zygarde's going to look to go for a slight overfarm after shielding here and go for this crunch to try and get the opponent to perhaps shield back in kind. They do not, but Zygarde can now farm down, and PK absolutely saying, I want switch advantage here. Leaf Blade's going to get the second shield of the match here. Virizion goes down, saving 2 shields for whatever comes in behind it, but Impoleon now comes in, but Belly Bolt is so happy to be here, man. He's just going to be loving this energy right now. It's just... Give me that Poleon. Give me that Penguin. Let me have him. He has looked tasty. I want that Penguin for lunch. Yes, I do. All right. No more frogs singing on this battlefield. The opponent's going to come in with a Dragon Breath Giratina. Yeah, well, down 2 shields. This looks pretty nasty. Going for the Zap Cannon. The opponent does not get the attack drop, but hopefully that's enough of a dent in the Giratina to allow the Scizor to do some work here. The opponent on maybe Dragon Claw or Ancient Power. Dragon Claw is going to be resisted, but might actually do more damage than Ancient Power would after the change to Dragon Claw this season. Night Slash is going to get the shield from the opponent. They're going for another charge move, but I don't think that this is going to be a... No, that's a Shadow Sneak. Trainer, we going for Shadow Sneaks here. The opponent, however, not being able to Metal Sound down this... Scizor, the Shazor, I don't know where that was going, man. The Scizor goes for the Night Slash, and the opponent is left in the deep red HP after a CMP tie. The opponent was trying to go for it, and they do not win. Belly Bolt comes in, gets the farm down, but it's not going to be able to before the opponent gets to a move, and that's, oh, it's so over now. If that Hydro hadn't landed, there's a chance that the Belly Bolt... Never mind, no, there's not. That Giratina was going to eat him alive. Good game. All right, Scizor on Libre's wheezing. You love to see it. Suddenly, it feels like Christmas to the Shadow Scizor. The opponent going to bring in a Corviknight, and it's... Santa's truly on his way. Belly Bolt has been brought a Corviknight for Christmas, ladies and gentlemen, and it's absolutely looking to play with it. Here we go for a first defense up here. The opponent having to go all the way up to that payback. PK was quick on the switch and able to get that parabolic charge buff in before the opponent can get there is very nice. Going for a very slight overcharge. Don't want to give too much extra opportunity for the opponent to get to another payback. They're going straight for the parabolic charge here, and now a double buffed. Oh no, this frog. Belly of the Bolt, the belliest of beasts, is going to be going for a parabolic charge, but it's been buffed so many times at this point that this Weezing's going to need multiple charge moves to knock it out. The opponent going for the first of many. What's it going to be? A Sludge. They need 3 Sludges to get a knockout, but not before the opponent drops that Guzzlord in. Now, however, Zygarde and Steelix are both very fine to deal with this. The opponent having Sludge Bomb most likely usually is going to mean that they're not going to try to go for anything other than a Brutal Swing here, which is perfectly fine with Zygarde getting those super effective chunks with the Zygarde's Dragon Tails. Guzzlord going down quick here, but going for the crunch. The opponent actually shields a crunch. Oh, they never shield those, bro. I have been conditioned to throw every time because they never shield it, man. Oh, man. Guzzlord hanging on, trying to go for it. The opponent does not shield a second time. They learned their lesson. In comes the Weezing, but immediately met with the full HP Scizor. And this is the easiest 2-shield Scizor and farm down play in history. Going for 1 Brutal Swing, not going to get that off, but wait, now there's another move coming. Hold on a minute. Scizor's going to have to shield this, but no, they don't. Actually, good call, knowing that they actually don't need to shield because there's not going to be enough damage. I'm getting caught up in the hype here for a moment, and we get into the next game. All right, we're good. Good, honey. Go beat their butts. Virizion on the lead in the next game. Scizor here is a neutral matchup entirely, but the energy is resisted off the Scizor. However, you see Belly Bolt and Zygarde in the back. Not really a fan of Virizion's existence here. Gonna look to maybe catch the next move. No, going for a Trailblaze. PK is looking to fire off this Trailblaze, boost the attack of these Bullet Punches, and he's committed, man. Gonna go for some more Bullet Punch damage. The opponent goes for a charge move, and Scizor gonna make sure this one gets shielded, trying to get rid of the Virizion, and even maybe get switch advantage here if possible. Gonna be going for a Night Slash, putting the opponent in an awkward situation. Do they want to shield and get switch advantage? Absolutely is what they want to do, but they can't. It's a simul KO, and now 1-to-1 shields on both sides. The back line is all that matters here. Who's coming in with what? It's a blind 3 format, and we have a Lapras on the not in the lead. We have a Lapras on the field across this Belly Bolt, and boy, was that a coin toss that PK is happy to win, because if that Zygarde had been lined up on this Lapras, it would have been ice beaming us all day, and Zygarde would have had a very bad day. The opponent going to come in with Dusknoir, and Dusknoir is going to have to now take this parabolic charge worth of damage, and honestly, Zygarde looking fine here. Come in with the crunch, daddy. Bring him in, go for that dark type damage, and Dusknoir is not going to last long here on the field. However, now we just have to worry about how much damage can we pump into this Lapras. Gonna go straight for the crunch here, not messing around. No over farms here. We want to get rid of this Dusknoir or get the shield. The opponent decides they're getting rid of everything and they're conceding the game. Well played. At least they didn't just close the app. I respect them for that. Shadow Impoleon in the next game. Shadow on Shadow violence, and Zygarde's coming in to break up the fight. Scizor's going to go take a break in his Pokeball, waiting for a better matchup in front of it, possibly. Zygarde's going to be taking this energy, though. Hydro Cannon going to do quite a sizable chunk, but in comes a Armored Mewtwo. One of the rarest picks in the Ultra League. Gosh darn it, Scopely. Bring it back to raids, please. Armored Mewtwo is going to be looking to go for some farm here, but wait, we're just going straight for the crunch. That's going to do super effective damage and put the opponent down within range of another crunch knocking out. I don't think Zygarde has a problem with that, because I don't think one move is going to be enough. However, PK does not want to take the chance, and Side Strike will draw the first shield. The opponent might have been able to get to 2 here, but able to get to this crunch here, throwing on pretty okay. I mean, two Dragon Tails into these confusions is okay enough timing that I'm not gonna raise a stink about it, but It's a difficult thing to master, man, but the opponent brings in the Impoleon, and immediately all of that doesn't matter because we just have a rock, paper, scissors kind of game, and I guess that's what Bellybolt really likes to do, isn't it? Now, it either wants to win hard or lose hard, because Bellybolt gonna be able to take out this Impoleon. The opponent may come in with the Virizion. Oh, man, if that Virizion is going to be able to get some energy against us, that could be a problem. We have a little bit of Zygarde left in the back, but unfortunately, oh, man, this Virizion's farming us down, isn't it? Oh, that's not fun. No, Scizor is looking at this thing very scared, especially because the opponent has decided to shield, but thank goodness the attack drop at least. Oh, man. That's a horrible shield, because you needed that damage. Knowing it was resisted, the opponent making a really it's a strong call, right? No, actually, because the Virizion's all they have left. I definitely did not forget that they only had a little bit of Mewtwo left in the back. The opponent is going to get this Virizion back in here after clearing that debuff, but I think now at this point, PK just wants to get this thing down into outrage range here. Outrange. And here goes the Sacred Sword. Not going to be quite enough. Can we get to another move? No, they cannot, but the Virizion has a move and wins charge attack priority, so unfortunately all for naught here, but a nice shot nonetheless. Leaf Blade takes out the Zygarde, and we're going to rally for the next game. Getting into the next battle. What a lead, bro! Santa Claus came twice in 1 year. You get him. Get him, bro. I'm just rooting for him, dude. Dude is just running up on people and just dogging on him with a Scizor and a Bellybolt with some of the worst possible matchups they can have, bro. Oh, we're going for a Zap Cannon. He's putting on a show for his trainers. Let's get it. Come on. Oh, yes, that's what I'm talking about. The Credilli comes in, but nothing else matters. We got a Zap Cannon on the Jellicent, and I'm the happiest man alive. We're going to be going for the Zap Cannon now, looking to put a dent in the Credilli, but it's not very effective. The opponent going to be farming up a bunch of energy here before throwing because they want to be able to threaten the Scizor with a Rock Tomb when it comes in, undoubtedly, after this one. So, Scizor comes in, the opponent does full send the Rock Tomb immediately, and PK is putting up the first shield of the match, saying, this is my Scizor, and you're not allowed to touch it! And then in comes a Talonflame, and Talonflame's not doing a whole lot to Zygarde, unfortunately. It's having a bad time. Incinerates are all resisted here, meaning the only damage that this Talonflame has would be within its flying-type charge moves between either Fly or Brave Bird, depending on what kind of saucy set they're trying to run here. They could be trying to make a full set of that Brave Bird right now. It's just another Fly. PK's in a comfortable range, going for the Crunch here in the middle of the Incinerate, going for it, hoping the opponent does not let this go. They decide to shield. The bait is successful. Now the opponent is going to be going for another charge move, but we have to shield this up because Talonflame is going to be looking to take this on the chin. The opponent going for an extra. No, they go for the switch, but PK is too quick, and the opponent is going to get farmed down. Credilli gets to a charge move, but it doesn't matter because the Rock Tomb does not do enough to a Shadow Scizor from this range. Rock Tomb is going to put us down in the yellow, but in comes the Talonflame to try and get the Incinerate down, but here comes the Night Slash first. Can we get it? Zygarde has a move, surely, but it needs to not have the Talonflame in a move as well, and they're able to make it. Outrage is going to be taking out the Talonflame, and now it's PK. Another game closer to Legend rank, please. Child, get that off Badez. Oh, yeah, dude. Good game. She picked up my condensed air sprayer and was trying to mess with it. And I'm like, get that out of here. PK! Over 3,000 elo. Congratulations, trainer. Don't go anywhere, though, my friends, because we have more games, and he's got something really cool to show y'all. Scizor lead. This is Spider-Man on Shadow on Violence here. This is all kinds of wrong. Scizor is going to be looking to go for the Night Slash right away. The opponent does not win charge attack priority. I do not have the IVs of these Pokemon, but the Scizor is going to be taking the first shield here. Do we want to give the opponent a shield here? No, we do not. Night Slash is just going to chip away at the Scizor, but the Bullet Punches will do the rest. Scizor going to be looking to go for the last second Night Slash, but a Kyurem in the back makes things incredibly difficult. They catch the damage, but Zygarde immediately has to swap in. Now, Zygarde does have a shield, and it gets to the Crunch very quickly. One Glaciate would decimate the bulk of the Zygarde, and so a shield is put up here to allow PK to get to this Crunch and make sure that we can either take the final shield or put a large chunk into this Kyurem. The opponent not able to get to... Oh, come on, man! You got me! Alright, fine. The opponent's going to be able to get to the Glaciate at the last second, and the final shield is put on from PK. The opponent brings in the Shadow Scizor, but we have a Crunch ready and loaded and rocking to go. The opponent going to put up a shield against the Crunch, and now Scizor is going to absorb all the energy the opponent was able to farm up earlier, and they can get to probably another Crunch, to be honest. Trailblaze, however, the opponent's making the call that the bullet punches are going to matter. They're going to go for this charge move right before the Zygarde can get to that Crunch, and now it's all up to Belly Bolt. Belly Bolt's going to have to come in here and look to try to get this parabolic charge in, but the opponent could try to catch, but no! PK said, I'm going to catch. Watch this, man. In comes the Shadow Scizor to take the Night Slash, and the opponent needs to farm all the way up to another. Can they get the farm down? No, he's not going to risk it. I don't blame him, dude. It looks like it could have happened, though. But going for the parabolic charge, lifting up the defense, and... Oh no! Dude played out of his mind for the game, and then all of a sudden, here's a Zygarde for your Belly Bolt. That's exactly how it happens, man. Yes, it is.
But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
All right, we got the next game. Shadow Scizor on the lead against Mewtwo. Look, we have to get a good one after that last game. Mewtwo is exactly what we need on the lead here. Scizor is going to be able to fire off a Night Slash whenever it wants to for super effective damage, which this is Shadow Scizor. This is still going to hurt the bulky armored Mewtwo. However, the opponent going to be looking to go for this dynamic punch right here and puts up PK puts up the first shield of the match here. The opponent now brings in an XehrFelrose. In comes Zygarde, and Zygarde putting a show on for the opponent exactly. Oh no! Immediately said, no, bro, I'm out. Immediately. Dude didn't even wait to see what was in the bag. He's just like, no. Same. Bro, the RPS of some of these matches is ridiculous. Gastrodon, okay, neutral lead in the next game. They're just fearing that Trailblaze. They looking to stay in here and go for some energy. The opponent going to be trying to see, is this the Trailblaze or is this just a Night Slash? They're looking to either put up a shield. To be safe, they put up the shield here, and Scizor looks to continue playing through this matchup. PK now has successfully gotten that shield. However, the opponent also throws some energy in the form of a Water Pulse. In comes the Belly Bolt, gonna shut down this Impoleon pretty hard. It is a Shadow Impoleon. This Hydro Cannon will hurt, but it's not gonna be enough to two-shot before the Parabolic Charge is thrown here, and Belly Bolt's gonna be able to pretty much knock out this Impoleon if not get very close to it. And then, because of the buff to the defense. There it is. Parabolic Charge allows us to live another move and able to get to a little bit of a chip with this Parabolic Charge, and then we really don't know, is the Zygarde going to come in here? Do we want to see Scizor? I think Scizor, okay, so Scizor does come in. I actually thought the Zygarde would come straight in, to be honest with you, but Zygarde is going to come in and look to throw outrages at this flying Galarian Bird of Doom. Meanwhile, at the Hall of Doom, Payback is going to do a lot to this Zygarde here, but Zygarde's looking to fire back with these outrages. The opponent might not even shield it because they usually have Crunch and Earthquake. There it is. The English has come back to me now. Suddenly I can speak again. Going for a shield, the opponent goes for that fly bait here, and now the Gastrodon's going to come in. Zygarde forced to throw this outrage to try and get some chip damage in. It's a very close game, but we got to make it. Outrage could get the farm down. Now, oh no! The Gastrodon gets to a move because of course it does. That's a Water Pulse, and now it's all up to Scizor. Scizor has a shield down situation, but it's got so much energy. The Night Slashes are going to do enough. What's up? Hey, you want me to plug in my phone? There you go. Thank you. And double Night Slash is going to be enough to take the match. Good game, well played. No, please. Zygarde in the next game. This is a pretty good matchup for the Scizor because everything here is neutral, whereas the opponent is going to be resisting, getting their Dragon Tails resisted, rather. Belly Bolt very happy to not see this, though. The opponent is going to look to go for a swap out here, and now Impoleon comes in, and just as quick, dude, I didn't even blink and I missed it. Belly Bolt comes in on the Impoleon here and is going to easily be able to overfarm. However, I think that the thing you might want to do here is be able to play with that switch timer just a little bit. Try and pivot out and save the Belly Bolt for later so it doesn't get completely manhandled by Zygarde. However, we'll see what PK decides to do with this matchup, as now we're going for that Parabolic Charge. The opponent putting up a... They're putting up shields in this matchup, bro. Dusknoir comes in. Scizor comes back in. The opponent sold their soul for switch advantage just to bail out of the matchup and go into the Dusknoir. No, dude. Oh, the Scizor comes in. Gets so much energy just going full. Going for a full farm up here before the opponent gets manhandled by the Scizor. Oh no, they come back in with this Impoleon, but I think their fate is sealed. Zygarde is already just going to be perfectly fine into the end game here. Now Zygarde comes in, but Zygarde's going to be able to counter swap just as quickly. Belly Bolt saved for later against that Impoleon. Outrage is going to do quite a lot. However, PK's got the shields to get to the next one. The opponent, maybe, do they have it? Oh, PK's not playing with the chances. Nope, they have the Outrage. I didn't know that was enough. I'm not counting as well as he would be right now, but we're going to go for the Crunch here. This has got to be enough. Could have thrown the Outrage. Might have been the play if the Crunch doesn't do enough, but no, he's played this matchup more than I have, knows the Crunch knocks out, and is going to go for the next Crunch to be able to hit this Impoleon right where it hurts, trying to get to another one when the opponent is going to go for a fast move. He waits the turn, and in comes Belly Bolt for the combo play. Parabolic Charge gets the knockout. That's fantastic. Good game. Well played. Next game. Okay. All right, next game we got Fortress on the lead, and I did see that we were playing against an expert player. I did peep this one before I played. We're going to top left immediately to help that expert trainer get to legend, because that's just the kind of stand-up guy that PK is. You should check him out. He's over on Twitch and YouTube. If you haven't already, he's got something. He wants to show it to you. Going for it. We got the freaking shiny Libre, bro. I have gotten one of those. It was many seasons ago. Man, that's so hype, dude. That is so hype. Congratulate, bro. Came back from the brink of despair, hit legend, and got a shiny Libre just to prove to him and to all of you to never give up, trainers. You can achieve it. I know you can. I believe in you. It may not be this season. Probably won't be next because we don't even have ranks next season. But when we get the ranks back, I believe in you. I believe in you always. Just remember that. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you as always. Bye-bye.